And nervous breakdowns are very necessary. The artists that don't go through nervous breakdown, I don't trust them. I don't think I even like them. They're too square, too normal. For an artist to be normal is a disaster.
It's kind of insane how the more into photography as an art form that I've gotten, the less photographs I'm actually producing. But I think the photos I'm actually getting to the finish line are probably better for it. Returning to film has made me realize that shooting less, but being more intentional within my photography is how I keep the photographs from becoming meaningless. And I know that's sort of the typical YouTube guy thing to say, but that's kind of because it's true. Film has also made me realize that I've been kind of letting the image dictate how I felt, but what I shoot should be dictated by how I'm feeling, not the other way around. I bring all this up because I'm not gonna lie, the last month or so, I've been really struggling artistically with my photography. I've been getting more obsessive about the image, which is good as long as it doesn't stop me from producing work, which is bad, and exactly what's been happening the last month. But I've been making a very large effort to make more work outside of the Disney parks this year. This was a decision that I had made last November, months before I even decided to get back into film, and frankly, the two decisions didn't really play into each other, but I'm not gonna lie, the timing really couldn't be more perfect. I always knew that shooting in Disney World was not gonna last forever, which is why I think I just went at it so hard the last 3 years. I knew there was a finish line. I just didn't really know what that finish line looked like, and honestly, I don't think I'm at it yet, and I don't think I'm wrapping up a project so much as I'm just kind of bored with it at the moment. I've been taking photos inside Disney World for 3 years. I've taken more than 100,000 photographs in those parks, and I've kind of gotten what I'm gonna be able to get out of it at the moment. When I switched back over to film a few months ago, there was something inside of me kind of telling me that I should go back to the parks and start shooting all of the same stuff that I already had on digital, but on film, so that there would be a hard copy of it. And for a long time, I was listening to that instinct, especially while I was learning to shoot and develop and scan and edit my film negatives. But as I've gotten past the process of film being the hurdle, shooting inside the parks just doesn't really do it for me anymore. I think what I'm trying to say is I'm turning a corner artistically, and I think the hardest part about that process has been just kind of letting go of the identity of what my work is and can be. Letting go of the niche that I've been in for so many years has been really freeing. It's also been kind of spiraling me into creative paralysis.
And nervous breakdowns are very necessary.
So I guess the question has become, what the hell am I doing now? Which brings me right back around to being in kind of a bad place creatively the last month or so. I've been shooting outside the parks the whole time I've been taking photography seriously, but nowhere near the scale of what I was shooting inside the parks. Pivoting over to shooting exclusively outside the parks feels really daunting, to say the least. But it's not just option anxiety kind of holding me back from producing work at the moment. It's this video, posting to YouTube. I've just been kind of questioning why I'm doing it, why I'm sharing what I'm doing, how much of the process I should be sharing with you guys. Making videos about my struggle of making work inside the parks is what I was doing here. And that process of going out and walking for miles and just getting kind of lost in my own head, letting my instincts take over while I'm taking photographs, that has always been kind of the real hook to the addiction to me. And I suppose that's probably why a lot of street photographers move to New York, but it's not like that here outside of the parks. You need a car. People are not as congested as they are inside of the parks. So producing work like this becomes much, much more difficult, if not impossible. But if I've learned anything from shooting inside the busiest theme parks in the world the last several years, it's this. You have to lean into your surroundings. Stop wishing that what's around you is different and start leaning into what makes it different. And by doing that, you'll start making things that only you can make in the place that you're standing in. And that is the answer. All of the other shit, if I traveled more, I'd have as good of photos as blankety blank, or you would have just as good of photographs if you were put in the position of blankety blank. All of it is bullshit. It's an excuse to not make the work. You know damn well there are places nearby you that no one has photographed and that you could be the one to photograph, but you haven't done it yet because you're sitting around wishing you were somewhere else taking pictures of other things. But when you start to get really good at noticing the things happening around you, where you are stops mattering because a good photograph is a good photograph. For example, look at William Eggleston. He's one of my biggest influences, and it's not because of where he was taking photographs. It's because he had a way of seeing the world and framing it in a way that speaks to me, because a good photograph is a good photograph. I don't care if you take it in Japan, Kissimmee, Florida, or Toadsuck, Arkansas. Yes, that's a real place. A good photograph is a good photograph. Niche, doesn't matter. Shoot what you connect with, and the people that like your photos will connect with it because you connect with it. In other words, the process has to be the obsession. It is awesome that we get to go out and take photo walks and come away from those walks with photographs that we really like. But the walk, how you felt, what you were working through while you were walking, the thoughts that were consuming you while you were taking the photographs, or the things you were running away from while you were taking them, they all work their way into the photographs without you noticing. So is my work outside of the theme parks different than my work inside of them? Yes, and I think that that's okay. I have to stop hanging on to this identity and start realizing that what's happening behind the lens is almost more important than what's happening in front of it. Of course, the subject matters, but if you're only focused on the niche and the aesthetic and this insane idea that you can only make one type of work, it's gonna hold you back in ways that you won't notice for years. I'm just telling you from my experience of letting go of being the theme park photography guy, labels don't matter. The work matters. And following my instincts within that work is how I've gotten where I have. So I guess now it's just a matter of letting the ego from this whole thing die off, because I'm human. I have ego about it. As much as I'd like to think that I don't, I do, but it's something I'm working on. It's where I've been. It's why I haven't been making videos. It's why I'm changing everything on Instagram. All of it plays into each other. And I really do feel like I'm finally turning a corner as an artist. And I'm finally headed in a direction that I really like. So listen, I know this video was kind of rambly and kind of all over the place, but it's really where my head has been the last month. I really appreciate you if you got all the way to the end of this video. It really means a lot to me. I know there was no lesson involved in this like some of my other videos, but sometimes I just got to make something like this where I'm just telling you guys where I'm at. And it feels really good to just verbalize these things that I ruminate upon over and over and over and over in an almost unhealthy, obsessive type way. Getting them out into the world really helps me let go of them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time if I can find her out. See ya.